And so like you're kind of job security based on innovation, but this is different. The budget is going to get slashed. The shop class is not required in New Jersey, so it's an elective. So they could what they call RIF the program, which is a reduction in force. And I kind of play it like they were going to do it every single year. So that's why I always try and do innovative stuff and connect with people and stuff like that. I just assume. I mean, anybody in this group is probably a pretty good shop teacher, and so like you're kind of job security based on innovation. But this is different. The budget is going to get slashed. And then who's on the chopping block? Reluctantly, they might get rid of some of the shop teachers. So I don't know what's going to happen. This is like, big time.
They told us today a 20% reduction and expected to take 18 months to get back to normal. But the school said right now there's no plan to mess with staffing. And the good thing is for me, I made enough of I made enough waves on Instagram and social media and attention that I think I got myself good for at least another year.
Yeah, that's how to do it. That's the way
keep sharing everybody's information on social media, make us all look great.
Yeah.
It looks good for the school.
That's kind of why Ron, this is one of the stepping stones Ron and I want to take is we want to be on offense for everybody, not just him and I, but for everybody, and get you guys all looking good. So when Emma's applying for a job and they Google her, we've got a YouTube video of her like awesome sound bites, or whatever it is. Those are stepping stones we want to take and be on offense because the better any one of us looks, the better we all look. And that's not just a job opportunity thing. That's a self-defense thing. I mean, being on offense is our self-defense mechanism. And like Ron said, we're kind of hardwired to do that because every year we feel like we might be on the chopping block. The thing about this is SATs and ACTs are out the window right now. And they can stay out the window. I don't, there's a possibility they could stay out. If they stay out the window, the core classes being at the top of the hierarchy, that's going to shift a little bit. You've got STEM and STEAM, Project Lead the Way, that kind of hybridization of core and shop that might be able to wedge its way up there. If it wedges its way up there, we wedge up. There's some opportunity here. Michael said it. He's like, well, they're smarter than me, these people that are making these decisions, but I disagree. We need to be voicing things like Ron.
How dare you say that?
Ron, write that. I mean, there might be smart people, but I'm not going to rate them as smarter. So Ron, write that letter, because if there's ever been a chance for us to wiggle up, it might be this. Like this might be the chance we have to wiggle up the hierarchy, and that's not. And I don't even like saying that because I don't want to be hypocritical. And I don't think there's a hierarchy of knowledge out there, but there is in the school system right now. If there's ever been a chance to wiggle up, this might be it. And the state of Missouri put out from the State Board of Education a document. And if you read any media pieces on it, it was horrible. But click into the document. And what they've done is have allowed for a high level of localized control, not centralized control. They pretty much just said, these are our suggestions as a State Board of Education, but you guys are vast and varied and different. There's no one size fits all. You can take these suggestions and do what you want. Well, what that means is the state's stepping back and letting districts have more power. That could be a good thing or a bad thing, but it does mean that you have more voice. Everyone here has more voice, because when you're trying to speak to the state, that's a bigger, you're part of a larger audience. You're trying to speak to your district, you just got a little more power behind your voice. So I say all that, hoping to give you a little bit of a dose of hope. I say all that trying to reinforce the dose, because that's basically all I'm going off of right now is small doses of hope that maybe we can come out of this. We're not doing the back to 100. Let's forget COVID happened. And there's this shift that happens where between the skills trade shortage, that being the one unifying factor across divisive politics right now, the wedge factor that we can utilize with our type of content area, there's potential here.
Well, we as a department, we've talked about bringing back the cooperative education program or the work to career program. That's another thing that we've talked about recently in regards to what can we do to get the kids out of the school, but yet still be in school and get credit for that. So it takes out 10% of the school or whatever. And we've talked about probably being the forefront to bring the cooperative education back to the school and be the forefront for that. Now, is that going to solve all the problems? No, but it's going to get at least 10% of the kids out of the building, if you will. And that's the other thing. And it doesn't matter, you could be doing co-op through nursing or doctors or, retail or trades, anything, it didn't matter, farming. So if you could
start a haircut program.
Yeah. But that was part of the thing. Get the kids out in the careers that they want to be in. If they're learning about being in retail, get them into a retail setting, and we decided that we want to start pushing that. And we had a department meeting 2 weeks ago, and that was the topic of it was let's bring the, school to careers back to where they had it.
We do that. When I was in high school, we had that. Then they took it away for a while, and then at least these last 3 years, maybe last 2 years, we're back to doing the school to work program. We send kids to the college. We send kids to the CACC, which is the career center. So we have a lot of kids. Well, and then they come to the kids that come to my job site. So we actually send a lot of our kids, only being in school of 700, we send a lot of our kids away all day. Like our parking lot gets very thinned out in the afternoons and stuff from kids leaving to have to go to college classes. Now, if they go to CACC, they take the bus over there. But yeah, it's the school to work is a big thing because we're the same thing. We got a lot of agriculture. We got kids to go work on the farms. We got kids that maybe they just go work at Walmart, whatever it is. But that's been a really good thing. So that's huge. And then there's something Barbercheck said. One argument we definitely got that Barbercheck kind of touched on was all of our kids right now, like if they went into the trades, they would be still working like every day. Like almost all of our people in every state are considered essential workers. So, how big of an argument do we have right now that says, I was talking to the lumberyard, they're like, we haven't been so busy ever because either A, people are working, B, people are sitting at home thinking about what they need fixed or done, or C, they're doing it on their own, So, if we've ever had a foot in the door here, I think Matt's right. This is our time to wedge in.
And that's why we were pushing that with our principal.
I agree.
He said, hey, let's bring this program back because we went to this pathway, tiered thing where, took this class. And then, the nice thing about that was we didn't have the capstone. Well, let's make this the capstone and go from there. If you want to be a cabinet maker, you want to be in woodworking, go in that field and get them out of the building, get them that real life skills. And